A lot of beginners at the piano think that in order to learn a new song, you just have to play it over and over and over and over again. In this video, I'm going to show you the fastest, most efficient way to learn a new song on the piano in order to see maximum results. So before we get into exactly how to practice and learn a new song on the piano, there are two essential things you want to keep in mind when you're picking a new song to learn. Number one, you want to make sure that your song is at an appropriate level. So if you're a beginner at the piano, you do not want to be choosing a song that is intermediate or advanced. This is like the number one recipe for discouragement and overwhelm. Number two, you want to make sure that the song is short enough. If you're a beginner, you should probably be sticking to songs that are like 1 or 2 pages long. You can definitely play longer, more advanced songs down the road, but make sure you start with something that you're going to be able to learn at a pretty quick pace instead of something that's going to take you 6 months to learn. All right, so here we go. How to practice and learn a new song at the piano. Step one, you're going to scan the music before you begin. So you don't even have to be at the piano for this part. This is where you're just scanning and looking through the music. You're watching out for things like any sharps or flats. You're looking at the notes. You're looking at the rhythm. You're looking at if your hands are moving, all of these things. If, as you're scanning, you start to realize that you actually don't recognize most of the stuff that you're seeing in the music, probably want to shelf that song for a little bit and choose something that's a little bit easier. You don't have to recognize everything on this first scan, but you should feel pretty comfortable reading most of it. After you've scanned the music, you've gotten a lay of the land, the second thing that you're going to do is you're going to divide the song into 3 or 4 sections or parts or mini songs, whatever you want to call it. If you have a physical copy of the music, you can take a pencil and write in where each part or section or mini song begins. If you have an electronic copy, just write down on a sticky note where each part begins so that you can keep track of it. So you've scanned your music, you've divided it up into 3 to 4 sections. Now you're going to practice one part or section at a time. I want you to use the RLT approach. What is the RLT approach? I'm so glad you asked. R stands for right hand, so you're gonna play just your right hand. L stands for left hand, so you're gonna play through just your left hand. And T stands for together. This is where you will play your right hand and your left hand together. Okay, so up until this point, you've practiced just one section, right hand, left hand, and then together. That leads us up to step 4. Ask the question, what feels hard? What feels uncomfortable? Is it the right hand? Is it the left hand? Is it when I put it together? Is it just this one measure? Is it when I have to move my hands? Pinpoint what it is that feels hard. This will help you phenomenally as you're practicing because then you can really pinpoint and laser focus on what you need to work on. If you said that it feels really hard and difficult to move your hands to a different position, then just spot practice that little bit. Don't do the whole section, just do that little bit until it starts to feel more comfortable. After you've practiced this one section, you've really pinpointed what you need to work on, then it's time for step 5, which is the most surprising step of all. In step 5, you are going to take a break. You're going to get off the bench, go do something else for 2 or 3 minutes. Go run around your house, go do 10 push-ups, go do jumping jacks. Do something where you're moving your body, something other than just sitting at the bench. If you want to learn a piano song faster, if you want your brain to work at optimal capacity, get up and move your body. Then you're gonna come back to the piano for step 6, which is going over this section one more time. So you can either follow the same format as before, where you're doing right hand, left hand, and then together, or if you're feeling brave, you can just try both hands together. And then you're done. You worked on one mini section of your song and you have a clear path forward for learning the other section. Depending on your level and how long your song is, this should only take you like 10 to 15 minutes to do. It shouldn't be a long process. If it's taking way longer than that, then you might want to consider breaking your song up into either more sections or only learning part of the song. When you go back to practice this song again, whether it's the next day or a couple days later, you're going to start with the same step number one. You're gonna scan your music. Just get a lay of the land again so that your brain can get really comfortable and familiar looking at this music. We've already divided our song up into sections. So for step 2, we're gonna go back and we're gonna review part 1. It may not feel perfect, and if you need to spend some time reviewing it and kind of catching up from what you did the other day, great. Once you're done reviewing it, then you're gonna move on to part 2. You're gonna follow the same format that you used with part 1. You're gonna do right hand, left hand, then hands together. Once you've gone through part 2, you're going to ask the very important question. Do you remember what it was? What feels hard? What feels uncomfortable? Is it the right hand, left hand, together, movement? What do I need to pinpoint and focus on? And then get up and take a break. Move your body in some way. Once you've done that, come back to the piano, and this time you're going to play through part 1 and part 2 together. As you put these 2 sections together, it's really important to remember to have a conversation with your music. Ask questions of it. Ask, what still feels hard about it? What is it that feels uncomfortable? What parts do I love about it? What feels really easy? And why do they feel easy? All of these things are gonna help you get to know your music. And when you know your music, then you become comfortable playing it and you learn it really well. Okay, friends, that is the most efficient way to practice a song at the piano if you're a beginner. And let me know in the comments below, what new song are you working on right now that you're gonna try this practice method on? If you have no idea what song to learn on the piano, make sure you check out some of my other videos where I walk you through how to play some easy beginner songs on the piano.